Okay, next up is Kyle.
Hey.
Are you ready?
I'm ready to go. Sure, you diversified your 401k and you're making 1% in your savings account. What's next? Take some of those savings and put them into little pieces of cardboard worth thousands of dollars. I'm going to talk about investing in magic cards and how complicated investing in even a single magic card can be. We'll take a look at my favorite card, Taiga. Who am I? Certainly not an accredited investment advisor. I mean, I do have an MBA in finance that I have never used in a professional context, so that's something. Who am I really? Well, according to the New York Times, the mayor of Stabber Alley in Brooklyn, New York. Just Google it. Oh, remember, past success does not guarantee future performance. So what are these little pieces of cardboard? They're a collectible game called Magic. The first cards came out in 1993, and every year since then, there have been multiple new sets of cards. There's even an online version of the game, but that's no fun, and I'll ignore its entire existence for the duration of this talk. Magic the Gathering is played between two people. Each person typically has a 60-card deck with cards belonging to one of the 5 colors. Green is earth, red fire, etc. Players use lands to generate mana, which is used to cast spells and summon creatures. After battling it out, the first player to lose all of their 20 lives loses. First, some definitions. A booster pack is a single foil wrapped package of cards. In the picture on the right, we see a booster box, usually 36 booster packs. A set of cards is a single release of Magic. A typical set of Magic might have 200 cards, but not every card in a new set is a totally new single. Grading refers to sending a card away to be giving a score on its condition. According to the publisher of Magic, there are over 20 million players of the game. Cards are constantly being sold to build decks, traded for other cards, or just investing. Sealed Magic, like a booster box, has an expected value. You can basically use all the cards inside of it to calculate how much money you would get out of the singles in the box. That was only 20 seconds. Compared to other alternative investments like wine or cars, Magic cards are easy to store and require minimal upkeep. You can invest in Magic cards with as little as $1. This gives Magic cards high liquidity. Also, with many different marketplaces, arbitrage opportunities can be found due to information asymmetries. Looking at a Black Lotus over the years makes the S&P 500 look like a money market fund. Newer cards, also known as modern cards, have super high liquidity and start very cheap. However, the price can change significantly with the release of a new set. Modern cards can even be reprinted. Vintage cards have much lower volatility, and many are on a reserve list, meaning they will never be printed again. When investing in older sealed product, the rarity of boxes make them worth more than the expected value of the singles in them. Other investors buy large quantities of new boxes, open them up, and sell the highly liquid singles. Some new boxes can cost less than their expected value. The strategy requires significant overhead, though, to flip singles at scale. Another investment strategy, if you want to call it that, is a buyout. This is when you try and buy every card for sale of a specific single. This is a classic pump and dump of Magic card investing. If successful, you can actually pump and hold, cornering a market for years. There are numerous examples of YouTubers trying to buy out a card and then selling them for pennies on the dollar. Before I dive into my favorite card, there are some notable cards to investors due to their rarity, power in the game, and their price. The Power 9 are cards from the earliest sets that are truly the most powerful cards in the game. These are the pinnacle of Magic investments. Another type of card that was so powerful they stopped printing it are dual lands, of which Taiga, the card I'm going to talk about, is one. So why did I invest in Taiga? It was one of the most memorable cards to the 11-year-old Kyle. As a kid, I was never able to get one because I started playing right after they stopped printing them. As an adult with a few spare bucks, I realized I can make a dream come true, and before I knew it, I had a whole portfolio of them. Taiga is one of 10 different dual lands, one of the common investment baskets in Magic. You can see the price of dual lands varies significantly by color combination and sets. Taiga makes a great starter investment as one of the cheaper dual lands. And also, fun fact, Magic forgot to print Volcanic Island in the alpha set, if you see it in the table on the top right. Here's a look at Taiga cards going back to 2014. You can see a clear up and to the right trend with some particularly exciting action starting in 2018. At the top of the graph, you can see the population of each set, alpha being really rare. Finally, as in all Magic sets, black border cards are worth always more than their white border cousins. So you bought cards in 2016 and the market had a huge bubble in 2018. No wonder this is an obvious investment. Wrong. Even if we just look at the halcyon years pre-2018, we can see these cards still had a positive trend. Of course, not all cards that are old are a sure thing. One of my favorite cards as a kid has only offered sadness. What's crazy about Magic is that even a single like Taiga offers many dimensions for investing. The revised version of it was the first non-English set in Magic, offering white and black border versions. An easy way to diversify in Taigas without buying an expensive beta card. Interestingly enough, certain languages offer premiums versus other ones. For grading, this is the ultimate cards. The main company, BGS, uses ratings to find condition of a card. Here we see a Taiga with some examples in the top right of a bad corner and on the bottom left of what would be a bad edge. Grading means you no longer have to take some randoms on the internet word for condition of the card. So what happens if you grade a raw near mint looking Taiga for 25 bucks and you get a 9.5, you easily get 185 bucks. An elusive rating of 10 can truly change a card's value. For older sets, it could even quadruple them. Finally, there's some oddballs you can invest in. On the left is a miscut Taiga. In the middle, it's Taiga from Summer Magic, a print that was a print run during the revised era that was actually destroyed at the factory, with a few rare ones making it into the general population. And on the right, you can see a card altered by the actual artist himself, Rob Alexander. So now, are you ready to start your own journey? Here's some resources you can use to get started. And at the very least, go to YouTube and look up Alpha Investments and watch Crazy Rudy talk about investing at Magic cards. And with that, thank you, Mike, for letting me chat about this weird obsession of Magic cards.
Thank you so much, Kyle. That was fantastic. I'll talk to you later about my own investment. I actually purchased a Taiga from Kyle.